This question on elevation and depression, a Jamb question, says the angle of elevation and depression of the top and bottom of another building, that means there is a building, but we are referring to the other building, measured from the top of a 24-meter tall building, is 30 degrees and 60 degrees respectively. Determine the second building's height. Okay, to solve this question, we need a diagram that will be able to interpret the question before it can be solved. So let's say solution. Okay, if this is the 24 meters tall building, definitely the other building is going to be taller than that building because of that elevation. You can't have elevation if the buildings are of the same height or if the second building is shorter. So for there to be elevation while looking at the top of this building, it has to be taller than the building of the observer. So the observer is at the top of this building because they said from the top of a 24 meters tall building. So the observer is here, and the eye level of that observer is a horizontal distance like this. So the elevation is from the eyes point of the observer to the top of the building, and they say the angle of elevation is 30 degrees, while the angle of depression to the bottom of the building from the same eye point of the observer is 60 degrees. So knowing this, we are asked to determine the height of the building. So we are looking for h. So looking at this diagram, we have gotten probably all we need to solve this question. We see we have two right angle triangles, this other one that contains angle 60, and then this that contains angle 30. And if you look, both of them have something in common. Their bases are common. So we can label the base here x, and whatever thing we get for this base, we can use it for both ends. So if this is the height of the small building, small h, this from this point to this other point can also be called small h because they are parallel and equal. So if we can get small h, let's call this place y. So I can confidently say that capital H is equal to y plus small h, while small h is equal to 24 meters. So going further, from this other triangle, I can see that my small h, which is 24, is the opposite to 60 degrees, and it is known. So I can use that to get my x, being that opposite over adjacent, h over x, is equal to tan 60 degrees. Tan 60 degrees. H over x, our h is 24, so I would say 24 over x is equal to tan 60. And when you make x the subject of the formula, you will have 24 divided by tan 60. And what is tan 60? Tan 60 is root 3, so x is 24 over root 3. We can leave it like this for the meantime because that is not the final answer to the question, so that we can use it to solve for that. If x is 24 over root 3, we can as well get x from the second triangle. If you look at the second triangle, this is y is the opposite and x is still the adjacent for 30 degrees. So y over x equal to tan 30. So we have y over x equals tan 30. And moving further, y is unknown, but we are still going to make x subject of the formula. So x is equal to y over tan 30, which is equal to y divided by tan 30 is 1 over root 3, and that will give us root 3y. Okay, so if x is root 3y and x is also 24 over 3, then we can equate root 3y to 24 over 3. Remember, we're getting y, we're looking for y, so that we can add it to the small h to get the capital H. So we are going to say, equating the first equation, let's call this equation 1 and call this equation 2. So equating both equations, we have root 3y is equal to 24 over root 3, and that is going to give us, when we cross multiply, root 3 times root 3 will give you 3, then you have 3y equals 24. Then you divide both sides of the equation by 3. This 3 will cancel this 3, That will mean that y is equal to 24 divided by 3 is 8. And remember, we are looking for the height of the tall building, and the height of the tall building h is y plus the height of the small building, and that is equal to 8 plus the height of the small building we know was given as 24. So if you add 8 to 24, you will have 32 meters. So the height of the tall building, or the other building as they called it, is 32 meters. See you in our next class.